Tyrell Malacia will be leaving Manchester United on loan in January, say reports that United have agreed to let him go on loan. And this isn't just any old reports. This has come out from a very, very reliable source of information, one of the best Dutch outlets out there that was very credibly linked to Malacia. Actually, the same source that broke the Malacia joining Man United news before Fabrizio Romano. So does that mean a new left-back's coming in? Because United have been linked to Kirkes and Antony recently. Nuno Mendes seems to have been ruled out of him set to sign a new contract. So what is the latest on Malacia? Now, Real Betis to give Manchester United what they want for Antony. United desperate to offload Antony on loan. Apparently, Real Betis is set to increase their offer to one that they believe Man United will accept. And here we go for Antony could be soon. So could we be getting a double loan? Here we go for Malacia and Antony soon. Now, there's been another Garnacho bid. I think it's 47 million. I think they would have to bid at least 50 million and make it 16 add-ons for United to consider a sale of Garnacho. But Napoli are up in their bids yet again. What is the latest on Garnacho? What is the latest on Rashford? Because I don't know if we're going to bring anybody in, but I do think there's going to be an out or two, and it looks like Malacia could be the one. I think a loan move's really smart for Malacia. Now, for me, a loan move, if you're going to bring Alvaro back, if you're going to bring Kirkes in, if you're going to bring Antony, absolutely perfect. But Malacia isn't up to scratch, and I think the physicality and the intensity of the Premier League and Amorim system, maybe he needs to just get minutes in his legs because of the horrible injury that he's had. And we seem to have survived without Alastair Shaw for 18 months. Delo can play left wing back. Will probably survive again. Amma can always play right wing back if emergency. So even though we're so thin in left back department, I actually think a loan move for Malacia is the best choice. But we have to bring someone through the academy or put some real trusted Amos, or we have to bring someone in. In my opinion, we have to bring someone in, whether that's Alvaro, whether that's Kirkes, whether that's Antony, whether we can get Nuno Mendes, whether that's Dorgu. I think we should bring someone in. But what is the latest on Malacia? So it was said that Manchester United have informed Malacia he can leave. He will initially be loaned out, which has been confirmed by the player's entourage. Now, VLNL, they were basically broke the news that Malacia was of interest to United and he was going to United before we had the Fabrizio Romano. Here we go. So they obviously are a very good source of information. This isn't Italian crap that Garnacho this, Garnacho that. This is credible information. This is a source that I believe, and I don't say that a lot, that Tyrell Malacia is leaving United on loan. Sources close to the player have confirmed. So United have agreed to let Malacia go on loan. Where's he going to go? I'm not sure. But it looks like he is going to go out on loan, and his sources have confirmed that. I don't know where he's going to go. There's nothing that's been agreed with another club yet. But for that information to come out, there must be a feeling he's set to leave on loan. If we dive into more detail, United informed Malacia on Friday that he could leave the club on loan. Clubs from almost all of European top leagues have inquired about his availability, and he was a good player before his injury. Manchester United are exploring a loan move for Tyrell Malacia. Sources close to Malacia say discussions have taken place with several clubs' potential loan, even to a fellow Premier League side, or the possibility of abroad. So Malacia is quietly talking to a lot of clubs about a loan. It looks possible. I'm also going to say this on Malacia. He's a back four left back, not a wing back left back as well. And I actually think, despite being thin at left back, I think Malacia needs minutes in his legs, and he's not going to get that under Ruben Amorim. And if he gets a loan and he gets minutes on his legs, it's going to be so much easier for us to sell him in the summer. Like, you don't understand that. Like, and that's what we're going to do, because he doesn't fit the system anyway. And I liked Malacia. He was really good in the Barcelona game, the Manchester derby, the Liverpool game, the Arsenal game. He's got the fight in him. But I just think physically, with what he's gone through, you can't just chuck him in Amorim's system, especially with how demanding the wing-back role is, which is a shame. But I think he's set to go and leave. Now, it's said that United are looking at Ryan Antony in the left wing-back position. He very much suits a left wing-back. He's a very attacking-minded left-back. Kirkes, Antony, Dorgu. I like that. I like the look of that at left wing back. I also do like Alvaro, so I just really hope we sign a left back. And it did cut off just there, so I can't remember what's talked about where it cut off. But let's hope United go and sign a left wing back. If I'm going to be honest, I don't think we're going to sign anyone until the summer. Let's continue on into the next story, because there is talk of Antony. Here we go. Could be coming soon. And some people behind the scenes are saying there's an expectation he will go, and United will negotiate something with Real Betis. Betis are determined to secure Antony on loan and have stepped up negotiations with Manchester United in recent hours by increasing their initial offer. Now, Real Betis have been interested in signing Antony on loan, but only offered to pay a very small portion of his wages. Apparently, they've upped their offer to pay more of his wages. Considering he cannot score sitters, I think United are willing to offload Antony. And I think the reason Man United are willing to offload Antony is because he's not good enough to play for United, and he's on ridiculously high wages, and no one's going to sign him permanently. But if he can go to Spain, just have a little bit of good form, play quite good for Betis, it means there could be a sale value there for United. Now, Antony is close to joining Real Betis on loan without an option to buy. The deal is difficult in terms of cost and competition from clubs, but Betis is pushing to conclude the deal, said Mateo Moreta. Betis have a feeling they can get this deal done. They're really pushing to this deal, and Real Betis have made an improved offer for Antony, and it's closer to what Man United have been demanding. There is a feeling, and people are saying behind the scenes, that there's going to be a breakthrough in terms of Antony to Real Betis. I think it's one that could drag on to deadline day because it's Manchester United. We like to make deals and negotiations and everything drag on just to see if we can get Betis to pay a bit more of his money. But look, Rashford and Antony, who they want out the door. They're not too bothered about Garnacho. He's not being forced out the door. It depends on the bids and the money coming in. But one of the players they want out the door is Antony, because they just want, him alone. Because if you get minutes in his legs, potentially it's easier to sell him. Because when a player that has been that bad for 3 years, he's been really bad. He's not like Sancho, where he had at least stocks in Germany. He doesn't have stocks in the top 5 league. He's been that bad for ages. And on 200k a week, it's going to be very hard to sell. Now, one player that will be a lot easier to sell, but Man United don't want to sell, they want Antony and Rashford out first, is Garnacho. Now, what is the latest on Garnacho? Because Napoli are flying, they could win Serie A, but they want to replace Kvaratskhelia. Could Napoli, being, Serie A title race, serious contenders, and got that money for Kvaratskhelia, really force them to say, you know what, we need Garnacho. He's the guy that's going to win us the league. Because what is the latest on Garnacho? Napoli sporting director Giovanni Manna on the Alejandro Garnacho deal. We're making evaluations. We must not get caught up in the frenzy. There's an expectation, but we will be ready, but on the conditions of Napoli. They're saying they want Garnacho. They're confirming Garnacho. Look, it's been confirmed by Romano, by reliable journalists, that Napoli have made a bid. Napoli have opened conversations. Garnacho's their dream signing, but United won't sell unless Napoli pays 60 million. Napoli have so far bidded 46 million. One rumour says 46 million with add-ons to 50 million. They need to up that bid by at least 10 million for United to consider, because they're not focused on getting Garnacho out. Now, Napoli apparently have improved the offer to 46.4 million. United are going to reject that. Napoli want Garnacho, but they want him on their terms. But the fact that, our season is pretty much a write-off, and Napoli is still in that title race, and Garnacho is their dream Kvaratskhelia replacement, I think we could easily get Napoli to pay up 60 million on deadline day for Garnacho. But will United let that happen? Because there's not any replacements. It's not like we can go and sign Semenyo or Cunha or somebody that we think is a good Garnacho replacement. And that's the big problem. I would like to give Garnacho to the summer because, one, I think we're writing him off too early. I think he's got a good output. He's a good player. He's having a few poor months. And two, who are we going to replace him with? But if you get 60, 70 million, it's something that you've got to consider. Now, apparently Garnacho is ready to accept Napoli's proposal that would double his wages, and Napoli are willing to pay 50 million euros, but United will want at least 60 million euros with add-ons, taking it to 70 million euros, which is fair enough. We're not desperate to sell. We are very thin in attack, and we can't exactly replace him. And also, we know that Man United would rather have Rashford out and would rather have Antony out way before they get Garnacho out, because of the wages and the fact that Rashford is not an Amorim's plan and Antony's just not good enough. Garnacho hasn't been great lately, but he's a better player than Antony. He's proved that last season at United, and he's got so much more room to develop and learn. Marcus Rashford is not ruled out signing for West Ham on loan this month if a move to Dortmund AC Milan doesn't happen. So Marcus Rashford's main purpose for leaving United is to get back in the England squad. Are you telling me he's got more chance of doing that at West Ham than Man United? Absolutely not. This report by Give Me Sport is going to be, I bet it's made up. I bet it's absolutely made up. Give Me Sport, Marcus Rashford, negativity, a way to bring him down, clicks. Marcus Rashford is not going to West Ham. If Marcus Rashford goes to West Ham, I will give £500 away on a live stream to one of you guys if Marcus Rashford goes to West Ham, because he's a better player than Lingard. He would let's be honest, Rashford starts over Garnacho and Antony. He's a better player. Rashford on the left 10, Ahmad right 10, Xerxes up top, Bruno in the pivot with Agate. That's what Amorim would do, but Rashford isn't good enough. Now, Rashford isn't at his best, but he's a better goal scorer. He's one of the few players that can score. So we wouldn't let Rashford go on loan to West Ham, because he's not. It's not like Lingard, where he's not going to start because Lingard's competing with Bruno. Rashford's competing with Antony. Rashford's competing with Garnacho. Mount's injured. Marcus Rashford is waiting for Barcelona. That's the case. People will talk about Rashford to West Ham as rage bait because they know it's going to get clicks. It's not going to happen. Rashford only wants to leave United if he feels it's going to increase his chance of getting back in the England squad. He turned down Como. He's not interested in West Ham. It will be Arsenal. It will be Dortmund. It will be Barcelona. That's what it will be. Maybe Bayern make a move. Can't see it happening. AC Milan are going for Kyle Walker. Maybe Napoli make a move, and that's the surprise, and they get him on loan because they're desperate for Kvaratskhelia replacement. Maybe. Napoli, maybe, but not West Ham. Thank you for watching. Bye.